She wants something to hold her mic.
Is
that better?
I literally put it on my finger. Like this.
If I could have like a giant stick, I'd have a giant stick.
I like it,
Holding this turns me into a different person.
Well, I'm afraid I'm gonna put my finger over the top.
Do you want a knitting needle?
Yes.
It's like a chopstick.
Like a chopstick.
God!
You okay?
And she just blew out both her knees.
Excuse me.
I'm just lounging.
I know.
Gord, you okay?
No.
Join us next week as Angie has a knee replacement surgery and we all Tinder.
I mean, I'll have to eventually. I just know it.
You go.
Live from the massage room.
What? It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
I don't know why I looked at the sizes.
But
I'm not sure which.
You deem this.
is there a side that
I don't know.
Nope. It's a double pointed knitting needle, so it doesn't matter.
Double needle point.
I don't like
needle.
this. Oh, I kind of do.
This is fine.
Allison,
Well,
do you want one?
Yeah, obviously
Like,
you want
obviously
one.
you want to.
Like, I don't need to.
I didn't know what size you prefer.
Is there
It's like a popsicle. No, I just want to eat the mic.
I'm not not as confident that they're good with
I think
ours.
mine's not as stable.
No, y'all's is much more stable.
What size did you get? 5.5?
Sure.
I got a 6.
Hold on, Allie. If you just, I got it.
I got a 5.5.
I can.
Oh.
It's like It's like
It's a chopstick.
No.
But tell me this is not fun.
It is fun.
Nice. Good job.
No, it's a good time.
I often have good ideas.
If only we had our new Rode mics.
Soon?
Road.
Yeah, we will have a promo code soon, though.
Hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll see. You know.
Y'all
Welcome
are
to
big
Put It On the
time.
Agenda. Brought to you by Rode Mics. Hopefully.
And a lack of Vegas bombs today.
Vanessa, if you're listening, we miss you.
Very ready to have Vanessa.
Vanessa, if you're listening, we know that you are.
back. We miss you.
We don't know that she is, but I feel like that's a fun thing to say. If you're listening, and I know that you are.
Welcome back. This is Put It On the Agenda. This is episode 4. Codename Ketchup with a K.
Just because.
Okay, not Catsup.
Nope.
And today we're going to talk about what's been going on, YOLOing a little too close to the sun when it comes to excursions, what it's like to get a massage or a beauty treatment in a different country as a tourist who doesn't speak the language and maybe doesn't know the culture. And then also, just because we like to end on a happy note, what's the worst thing somebody said to you about your loss and grief? Because why the hell not?
Classic.
The point of this episode is so that way we can actually catch up on the agenda that we've written over the past couple episodes, because we get so carried away. every
Just
time.
like you're a part of this friend group, so goes the podcast. Put it on the agenda. We'll get to it eventually.
First question is YOLOing too close to the sun when it comes to excursions and tours.
Is this the story that we've heard nonstop about?
for 2 weeks.
No.
This is the other story.
Oh.
No, this is definitely an LRB story, though,
Okay,
so
fine.
take it away.
Okay, so I think.
And also just or other travel times where you've maybe felt like maybe this wasn't the smartest choice, but luckily we made it out okay.
India.
Vietnam.
So I think this comes back to a much larger question of, should you book a tour through a company, or should you try to do it yourself and potentially just get a tour off the street, when you
Or
actually...
Via Air or something like that.
Yes. So, to nobody's surprise, except my own, my mom and I typically book tours through Royal Caribbean. A, because we booked it 2 years ago, so they're easy, but B, they're safe. Not in terms of physical safety, but if a port gets canceled, it's easy to get your money back, it's easy to deal with any changes, and they won't leave you. This has pretty much held true, with the exception of 3 times before Europe, and now the entirety of Europe is pretty much we're doing it on our own because she got fed up, so she's canceled all of them.
Love it.
Yes. So one of the times we're talking about is when the police got called on us in Hawaii.
Which I have not heard this story.
I have. And I will say, I guess if the police are going to be called on you, at least you're in the U.S.
That is true. But
That's actually a really fair statement. If you're gonna get arrested
Anywhere.
being a citizen of that country's best case scenario.
yeah, but we also found it really funny that our worst fall experience at that point was in a U.S. state.
True.
Because we had just gone through the entirety of South America, Antarctica, up the side of the other side of South America, hit Hawaii, and had the police called us for 30 minutes.
For what?
For what?
And weren't you close to almost missing the last tender, if I
Yes,
remember right?
because they pulled us off the tender. So the police
Oh.
You have never told us this.
I forgot.
Anyway.
Anyway, so what happened was we were in Kona, and we had a tour booked, but the day before it was like just horrible weather. It was rainy, it was not sunny, cloudy, and we were supposed to do snorkeling the next day. So we canceled it. It of course was one of the most beautiful days yet, as it is.
How that works.
Always, but we were sitting with a table mate, and they're like, listen, we had a great time with this private tour guide. He's going to drive to the other side of the island, give us a tour. Do you want to come? And we're like, yeah, sure, because we like them, and we're like, you know, it's going to be a horrible day.
And this is your first private tour of the cruise?
Yes.
Okay. It's an important detail, I feel like.
Starting out with the bang.
I should mention that. This was A, our first private tour, and B, we've been to Hawaii before, so like that's why we're like, okay, it's cool. So we kind of knew what to expect, but we were not expecting this. So he says, listen, it's going to be a 6-person vehicle max. You know, you already know 4 of us because it's me, my mom, our 2 table mates, and we're going to get our other 2 table mates. So it's going to be really... Alright, side note, by table mate, I mean I eat dinner with different people every 18 days.
My nightmare.
So pretty much, they come, we have dinner 2 hours a day.
Oh my god, this is like A Bug's Life. They come, they eat, they leave. They come, they eat,
Pretty
they
much.
leave.
That's pretty much what it is. And for the most part, it's been really fun, and it's a great way to get to know people if you're social.
I don't know that reference.
You don't watch A Bug's
How do you
Life?
not know that?
I haven't
Disney
watched-
Pixar's A Bug Life?
Excuse me. I know what A Bug's Life is.
With the grub?
Yeah.
What do you mean the grub?
Do you mean Heimlich the caterpillar?
Yes.
Okay, then obviously you
Yeah.
know about Bug's Life.
I'm so sorry that I forgot one line in a
They
movie
cut-
It's a
that
It's
big
like
came
a
out.
deal.
big
It's like the
line.
grasshoppers come, they eat the food, and they leave. They come, they eat, they leave.
I'm sure that's
Elaine-
exactly how the Windjammer feels. All the time.
I'm physically pained. Anyways.
I feel like I also should mention I'm like digging this story out of my memory.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is clearly
Embellish it. Make it better.
basically years ago
Yeah.
in
to me,
our life.
This is like
When you were a child.
many years ago. Many
When I was a
years.
wee lad.
Ian.
So this is also one of the few tender ports that we actually get into port as well.
True.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at that point, yeah.
So we take the tender in.
And it was one of the first tender ports with your favorite captain.
I should have known
He called the cops on you.
Stop. Continue with the story.
So we show up, and we have never seen this man, right? So, like, we have no idea what this tour guide looks like, whatever. So, we were also on a different tender than our table mates. So we were like, we deadass don't know who anyone is. So we show up, we get in. He goes, well, actually, now we have 10 people, which doesn't seem like a huge jump, but from 6 to 10 is a big jump. And then he grabbed 2 more people off the street, so now we have 12. So
You've doubled.
we have doubled. But luckily, he brought a 13-person vehicle just in case.
My man's had a plan.
I bet Mama was
Oh,
livid.
she was already livid. To the point that, like, one of our table mates was like, listen, if you don't want to do it, like, you don't have to do it. Before he even got into the vehicle.
Dang. That's a good start.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is very aware that neither my mom nor I have a poker face.
Yes.
If they don't like it, you finna know about it.
Yeah.
Real
The
quick.
longest time I thought I had, like, a very intense poker face.
No.
That's cute.
I don't think any of, I don't really think any of us, maybe
No.
Andrew has the best, if I'm honest. There have been times I've had to tell you to fix your face, and it has also happened to me. So, yeah.
If I'm the best,
We're doomed.
We are not good.
We are
We're not
doomed.
placing in the Olympics.
no.
when Spotify wants to negotiate a multi-billion-dollar contract for us,
Yes.
Andrew's gonna have to be the poker face.
It's gonna be Zoom cameras.
I'm calling people I know to handle that. I'm not doing
You're
that.
talking to Doug.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I feel like I also have a very expressive face. when
Yes.
I do not think about it.
True.
So anyway, we're already off to a great start. My mom hates it. I hate it. We're in a very hot vehicle with seatbelts that do not work. This comes into play later.
Oh.
So we're sitting in the back with people we don't know. There's also poop on the seat, like little rat
Human?
poop on the seat. No, and not rat like me poop. Rat like the creature. Poop.
Like, how do you even know? I wouldn't even know what that looks like, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah,
I would think it's like a roly-poly bug. I don't know. what
No,
sauce
it's like
looks
just little
either.
it's
Like
dark
you-
pieces
Pellets?
of pellet. Yeah,
it's obviously rodent.
it's like brown rice.
Yes.
Ew.
So
Anyway,
not going to the crate store. So, but we're like, okay, it's fine. So he's set up on this toll. He's driving insane. We are talking fast, going on corners. He just stops in this man's yard. He's like, it's okay. He knows me. He sees him coming out of his house, like the house owner. He peels off. So obviously this man does not know this other man. We are talking. We go to a coffee farm to like talk. Love it. Love the tour guide. If he ever watches the TikTok video I made about him, please come visit us. We love you. But
Silver lining.
silver lining.
Missed connections?
No, my mom was like ready to adopt this man as a son.
In-law?
It's like,
Maybe I don't know.
lover.
My mom is something else, but she also found like the one coffee she likes to drink. Of course, it's the most expensive coffee.
classic.
I expect nothing less.
Exactly. She almost bought it, but then realized we still at this point had like 6 more months. So we are going around these corners. Sure. I am sitting in the man next to me's lap because these seatbelts do not work. And we are bonking into each other. His wife is holding on to dear life on the headrest in front of him. And she was like, okay, bye-bye, whatever. I was like, okay, cool.
Were you guys not at any point like, could you slow down? I feel like your mom would be very quick to be like, hey, you need to pump the brakes.
We asked, and he said no because the cops here know me and are okay with it.
Lies.
No.
Yes, he
Get me out of this
also
van.
repeated himself at least 20 times, and we saw him drink an entire 8-pack of Red Bull in the time we were on this tour, which is only like
Good.
6 hours.
That's a red flag.
Yes.
for sure.
It was
So how did the cops get called?
I'm gonna get that. So I had to set up the backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed
Context
you to
clues.
experience the level of stress and confusion.
Okay.
And just heat, because it was hot that day. So we go to the beach. We love it. And he's like, okay, time to pay. We said we'll pay cash because we do not want this man to have our credit card details, and also we have cash. So half of the group pays cash, half of the group pays with credit. We also at this point give a tip. That way we can leave because we do not want to like.
You're done.
We're done. So we pay. We then see him count on his fingers how much we have added, given him and adding up. There's nothing wrong with counting on your fingers. I do that to keep track. But there is a problem when you're counting cash and you take 3 times to count on your fingers. And he has a phone with a calculator. So we're like, okay, a little stressed. And we're like, whatever. He lets us go. We walk around a little before getting onto the tender. And then the security guards come and grab us.
Royal security guards?
Yes. Well, no.
Port.
The Port Royal and the cops. So it's
Oh. Triple down.
Trifecta.
Okay.
it's the trifecta. And it's not, and they come out, they call us by name on this tender. They get me, my mom, or 2 table mates, and 2 more people. So like 6 people off this tender, which is a packed tender. And they're like, hey, basically this guy is saying none of you paid him at all. And of course, because we all paid cash.
There's no proof.
There's no proof, there's no receipt. And we're like, no.
You should have filmed it. Hindsight.
Hindsight's 2020. We're like, no, we definitely paid him. Like, there's no issue. And they're like, well, it's his word against yours. Like, I guess you can say what you want, and he can say what you want. And we're like, no, we, 100% paid him. Like, they pull up their receipt on the credit card, and he's like, no, they're saying like 4 people did not. And what we think is he mixed up his tip payment and his cash payment and did not include the credit card payment. We don't know.
Okay.
He sounds just like a scammer.
Yeah.
Or it's just a scam.
You're kind of trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, which is nice.
Yes, but pretty much Royal was like, listen, it's his war against yours. If you want to just get on the boat, we'll handle it. And we said,
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just getting back on board.
but what we later found out was 2 of the people who took the tour with us were from a foreign country. So now the U.S. is a foreign country, and the police have been called on them. And of course, the U.S. police abroad do not have the best reputation. So they just paid to make up the difference.
Dang, so they got scammed out of.
They got scammed out of, I would say, by $400.
That's
No
horrible.
way. I hate that. See, that would make me like fight on site before I get back on board. Because I'm an American citizen in America, I'm probably whooping homeboy's ass.
That's valid.
No.
Allie gets detained in a Hawaiian jail.
We've definitely never had anything like that
No.
from a private tour. We had a non-ideal tour in Angola.
I feel like that could be a complete sentence. Like,
I was gonna.
This is also many months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking to book another tour with the same, not the same
Company.
tour company, but the same like, it's Get Your Guide. It's like a
Yeah.
guide or where they then
Right.
use other people. And I was like, well, I shouldn't blame the Angola tour on that company because that was just
that was
that one particular day.
It was. And like, granted, I don't think it was that bad of a tour considering what they were working with.
Yeah.
Like,
it was we paid for a city tour. Angela, did you see the city?
I did when we left it.
we drove by it one time.
Did you see the city on
I
the
did
city
not see
tour?
the city tour.
There was no city to be seen.
Will there
Um,
be dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour?
You would hope.
I don't know. But I will say, any royal tour that we have done, although I feel like we've most of the time paid more than what it was worth, it has
Always.
it has been a good tour, and they have relatively lived up to what they said they were going to do, which I think for most people when they're booking a tour, as long as you get what you say you're going to get, most people are relatively happy.
And to bounce off that, if there's an issue and a lot of people complain, you'll get your money back or a discount. That's true.
Yeah, from Royal, yeah.
Yeah. I've never had the cops called on us.
Oof.
I was also obviously on that Angola tour that was a little less than ideal. Our Abu Dhabi tour was also slightly.
That was also...
That was also a
That's
sketch.
amazing.
Yeah, but you went with Royal and we did not. That was the difference.
But one thing that I've had on tours, one tour in particular, was in Vietnam. I did a food tour with 2 friends from the ship, and we were on the back of motorcycles. And that was one time where I was like, this could be really stupid because Alex and Christine are on different motorcycles. Obviously, you can't fit. Some people do. But we only had us and one driver on the motorcycle, and they were like a light ahead on the street because we got stuck in traffic. So I'm like sitting there on the back of the motorcycle with this guy that I literally met 5 minutes ago in Vietnam. And I was like,
Had your eat, pray, love moment.
Yeah, but it's one of
Or-
those where you're sitting there like, oh, this was not the best move I've
Yeah.
ever made.
because you're like, is this Eat, Pray, Love or is this Taken? Like,
Well,
That's the perfect segue because in India, I legitimately thought I was going to get kid. I was seriously walking through the basement. And this is on a royal tour.
this was.
So,
but not on Royal.
Indian TSA is such a life-changing experience that I will never complain about US TSA ever again. I'll be like, thank you for your service, borderline. Because it was... Women and men had to be separated. Women had to go in these little rooms to be patted down. It's basically the opposite of the States. Yeah. You
Yeah,
did
I got
not?
patted down
I
at
think I got-
everywhere I went in India.
I got patted down multiple times.
I got wanded. And I'll say that they separate the genders and women are in a private booth, I think because of religious beliefs, so that there's like a modesty involved.
No, I assume that.
Still, I didn't love it.
Just so that we're
I get it. I
not
don't
getting
like it.
canceled.
I get it. I don't like it. It's also basically like in the States, you're not allowed to have your stuff in your carry-on bag. Like you would want everything in your checked bag, right?
What?
And India was opposite, like technology-wise.
I always have my technical.
No, I'm trying to think. It was like the lithium batteries and everything.
Oh, it has to be
Oh, it
separate.
was, yes, it was supposed to be all of your, like, big batteries and everything were supposed to be in your carry-on, but it felt like, I don't know, it was different than how we do it at home, which I know that's a really terrible excuse, but it was just confusing and nobody was really explaining. And then we got through, and Andrew and I just shared a suitcase for this, which was a whole different debacle.
We were fine.
Whose name was it under?
It was under mine. Only ma'am can come. So, ma'am,
Andrew has long hair. You didn't try to be like, that's
he's
ma'am.
the ma'am.
No, I was standing at KFC just trying to get my food, and they're like trying to pull me away, and I'm like, I mean, they're like handing me my food, and they're like, come with me, and I'm like, but I, like, can I bring my food with me? And then they were like, no, and I was like, well, I paid for it. How does it not get stolen? And then they were like, so then they like had a conversation, and they were like, they'll save it for you. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm like, I don't want my food getting took. I was hungry.
My wife could get took, but
on
not
the
my
other
food.
No. At the time, Allie wasn't even involved.
Yeah, I was just standing
I
in
was
La
just,
La Land.
yeah, I was walking that way, and then like they were like, and then where's Allie? And then we found Allie, and then George was walking with us, and then I thought I was gonna have to, handle whatever it was, and then they were like, only she can come, and I was like, okay, but it's my stuff, and I'm her husband. Can I go with her? And they were like, no, and I was like,
Which, in hindsight, I feel like now we should have maybe fussed a little bit about that.
Yes.
But in the moment, I'm just thinking, don't make a scene. Don't. I know.
I'm not making a scene
so
in
dumb.
my first day in India.
Making a scene is not necessarily always the worst thing.
Right.
Especially because what if the plane got left?
Right.
Well, on a chilled flight.
Right. I feel like, well, obviously
True.
Andrew would have never left me, but I feel like we should have been like, no, we're coming together and kind of like held fast to that, or be like, or we'll both go out and both go through security again.
Get a royal person to come with you as well.
Yeah.
I was trying to find our guide, but I couldn't find him. And then he came and found me and was like, hey, security needs you. He wasn't helping me at all.
So, anyways, they escort me downstairs alone, and I'm already going, okay, well, don't automatically assume the worst. There's one other woman from the ship also being taken down with me. However, she does not speak English. She only speaks Portuguese. Or she speaks Portuguese and English, but very broken English. And so she was the elected member of her family to go down. So we're kind of looking at each other like, if something goes down, I got your back. They take us down this back elevator. We get wanded, patted down again. Then we go through this empty, like, storage room that has the carriers that you put luggage in that then they load onto. Yes. And I'm sitting there going, that's a great place for a body. My mom was right. I have no business being in India. And I'm just sitting there going, and I know this is awful. It is what it is. I'm sitting there going, I at least hope they murder me first. Like, I hope that I'm dead and don't have to
We
endure.
went down like the worst rabbit hole possible.
I get it. That's like the same question the man or the girl in the
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah, I was like, I just hope they murder me first, and then do whatever to my body. Like, I'm just going, all these things could go wrong. I'm by this weird AC unit, so there's a lot of noise, so nobody can hear me scream. All of just like,
I do appreciate that you took time to make a video about where you were.
Yeah.
I did.
And
Because
that,
I
and that
was like,
LRB and I, we were two of the recipients of said video.
Yes.
I
Yes.
got it later once I told my photo.
I told you about it though at the airport because we were also at the airport because we had just gotten back, and so I was like, "Look what Allie just sent us."
Well, and it was also like a haha, here's what's happening, but it was very much a, this is my last known, like, here's where I am.
No,
Come
the quote
find
was,
me.
I
Drop
am
a
on
pin.
this floor at this location. And then that was like, and then it was like, and I'm alone. And then it went to us three. And I was like,
Maybe we'll put it on our Insta stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
put it on the stories. But it was very scary for a minute, and then the guy just shoved my suitcase at me, and he said, metal in here. And I was like, okay. So I pull out, I'm like, your curling iron, like random bathroom. I was just like, anything, and I was like, what am I looking for? And he goes, battery. And I'm like, you're not being helpful. So finally I just like pull out Andrew's.
That is the toilet in the next cabin over.
It sounds like the Auga.
anyway.
Anyways, I really was like, I have no idea what I'm looking for. Finally found one of Andrew's bags of equipment or whatever, and I was like, it's a reader. It's a card reader.
Okay, what she found was like when I travel, I have all my things that go with my computer. So like my hard drives, my card readers, all my cables, batteries, stuff like that, in like one little case because I'm relatively organized. And so, and I care about like cable management. Anyway, so she found that, and I told Allie before she went downstairs, I said, do not let them take the SSD. because it had like all of our footage so far on it that I hadn't dumped and backed up. So I was like, just don't let them take the SSD. The first thing she pulls out is the SSD. And the guy's like, mine. And I'm like, no.
Absolutely.
But you're upstairs with your KFC.
But I'm not there, so I can't do anything.
Andrew's upstairs with his KFC. Like, I'm going down thinking I'm going to be murdered or taken or something. And he's like... And he's like, don't let him get that. I'm like, another level of anxiety. They're going to confiscate something. Andrew's going to be pissed, and I'm going to be dead. Like, all these things. Finally, somebody else downstairs recognized what it was and was like, oh, it's for cameras. And I was like, okay. And then they send me back upstairs, and I'm like, all cold
You did
sweat.
get the batteries out.
I did get the battery out. It was a pack of camera batteries. Andrew's fault. Get back upstairs. And, of course, this is the one time that I travel with no Xanax. And so I'm like, oh my god.
First and last time.
Yeah. So that would definitely be the worst tour. And it was a royal tour. So.
But the KFC was great.
Oh my god. If anybody knows a marriage therapist.
No, he's not wrong. Like, honestly, that KFC was delicious. It was like wrapped in naan with a spicy sauce.
It was incredible.
A whole story about that KFC that won't be said off the podcast.
Ooh.
Oh, I haven't heard this one.
If it talks about how
What's
dirty the
next
people
up?
are, don't tell me.
No, it was not.
Next on our agenda is talking about kind of rapid fire. If you've had a massage or beauty treatment or some sort of a spa experience in a foreign country, how was that? Was it weird? Was it different? Maybe weird's not the right word. Was it different? Yay, nay, would you recommend 5 out of 5?
I got a pedicure in Singapore that was desperately needed. It was in the fanciest mall. Unfortunately, it was like a tech mall, very all camera stores, all expensive.
That's where we bought my camera.
That is
actually.
Singapore.
That was a whole day. Put that on the agenda.
We also had an
camera
interview
search.
that morning, which took forever.
Yes, we had an interview that morning, so we were stressed on time. We didn't have a lot of time, basically any time to explore Singapore, but I needed a pedicure. Andrew was looking at all these camera stores, so I was like, there's a spa downstairs. They don't offer normal polish. It's gel or nothing. The whole reason I didn't get a pedicure on board was because it was going to be $70, and that's ridiculous.
Correct.
But the lady at the salon was like, oh, you have to get gel, and it's $70. And I was like, I am not going to pay that, so just paint them with regular polish and I'll be done. And she was like, no, we don't have the little flip-flops. So I was like, And anyways, I decided to just have, like, no polish put on, but everything else done. I'm just sitting there minding my own business, as one does when you're getting a pedicure. And she pulls out this thing. Before I can even pull my phone out to record what's happening, it's like a maybe 3-foot pole of bamboo shoots, like, tied together. And she, whack, 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 slaps my legs. And I'm just like, fully in shock.
Like on your shins or like on the calves?
On my shins, on the calves, on the bottom of my feet, across the toes. Like, full on whipped me. And I, like, started laughing because I was just so surprised by it. And it effing hurt. So I was just like, oh, what'd you go? For circulation. And I was like, great. Thanks. So that was my Singaporean pedicure.
I love it. I got a massage in the Mall of Philippines. Nope, the Mall of Asia in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Scratch that. With Daniele. He was like a spa he'd been to before when he'd been, like, I wasn't with him, but like at the same spa.
Like, is this the same room as the charge?
No, I mean practically because the walls didn't go all the way to the ceiling. So like, you know, it was not that private.
He could hear you.
And I could hear, yeah. Oh, it wasn't that. It was more,
The Mall of Asia was very nice.
What?
The Mall of Asia was very
The Mall of Asia was great. I didn't feel, this was not a like, ooh, I'm worried. It was more of a like, ooh, what's happening? It was a full body scrub, which I hadn't anticipated. So they're like, here, put on these little tiny disposable undies. Didn't want to do it. And then you had to go shower after your body scrub and then come back and then have your massage. And so you're just, there wasn't great air conditioning either. So you're having a body scrub happening. And
They're scrubbing you or you're scrubbing
nope,
you?
They're scrubbing you with like a body scrub. Also, getting very close and personal, where I was like, "Oh, okay, what's happening?" And it
You're
was
on the
uncomfortable.
doll. Did the masseuse touch you? Like,
Almost to the areas where the bathing suit touches. Okay.
the anxiety in the room is palpable.
On
And
the video, you just see everyone getting sleeved.
so So, yeah. And so they would then also, after the shower, after, like, you get the body scrub off, then I put back my regular underwear on. And then she starts to roll it down so she can massage my booty cheeks. And I was like, nope. And I just kind of kept tugging it back up to be like, I'm good. You don't need to massage my crack.
It's for circulation.
It was a $50 massage.
You get what you get.
I am so glad you at least had disposable underwear.
Preface this before you tell your story.
Yes.
That I was at the same locale. You were not excited about this massage to start with.
Yes.
And when she came out...
We were in a different spot, a different location.
Yes. But when you came out of the massage room, you looked like you'd seen a ghost.
I was
Wouldn't talk about it. I was like, how was it? No.
Where was this?
Vietnam? It was
Yeah. Not Trang?
Yes, I think so.
The house.
So, to start, I have had massages before. It is not a...
Humble brag.
Humble brag. Like, I've tried them before. I do not love them.
I do. I love anyone touching me.
Don't.
Allie lives at da-da-da-da.
Let's not put that online.
So, no, I've had massages before.
That's going to be our audio
I
intro.
love close friends touching me.
Anyway, back to me. Time for a 15-minute long story.
No, rapid fire.
No, this is the rapid fire
This is quick.
category.
Rapid fire. I did not want to do this massage. My mom wanted to do a massage. She was not doing it on my own. So I had to go. What's all? We get in. They immediately no time to change. I am in a bathing suit. So I'm like, hey, I'm in a bikini. I'm like, there's this ball bikini, ball bikini cover. Nope. Take everything off. They do give me the little disposable mesh undergarment, which later will get taken off completely.
By the... Oh
No,
my god.
So I am laying. Also, typically you get to walk over to the bed by yourself in like a room with no one, and then you get to lay down.
Yeah.
No, it's easy. Yeah. They're watching the walk of shame.
Tough.
Shame.
Yeah. Literally.
Shame.
I'm walking naked in front of two people to a bed that is too short for me.
Wow, how European of you.
I am not ready for European summer in Asia, or just in general. So then I'm face down. I'm like, okay.
Ass up.
Yes.
That's the way we like to
I
what?
feel like my ass is up because my ass is where the feet usually are.
Because
Because
as
the
we
bed's
talked
so
about
small.
earlier, you're 5'9".
I am tall. I give short energy, but I'm tall. So height-wise, it's not walking. And these beds are shorter than usual. They're the size of the chair Andrew's on.
Oh
Pretty
no.
short.
Yeah. So it is a very
A low love seat.
Yeah, it was tall though, to be fair. So the height was tall, the length was not. So we get the massage, and
Was it choked?
What?
the massage starts. Well, give it the legs done. It's okay. Then she starts to move up, and she just never stops moving. And I have just tried. I'm also as tense as a rock. Anything came out of this massage, and so
I would, as somebody who saw you before and after, I would agree with that.
I do not think I relaxed, and I blew it up. So he just keeps going. If I had the doll, it would be obvious. Then she goes to the back. I'm like, oh, she's done, right? No. Now instead of going to the bottom, we're going from the top. And I'm like, this is horrible. I hate this. But of course, I'm like, how long can this massage be? This massage, by the way, was an hour and a half.
Oof.
I
That's it.
thought this massage was going to be 40 minutes max. So I was like, this is never ending. Also, every once in a while, you'd hear the Windows email noise come up, which did not help.
Do it. Do the sound.
They're like, bing. So then I was thinking this was also going to be a back-only session. No, it's time to turn around.
And your breasts are just exposed.
Everything's exposed because she took off the underwear. She rolled
There's no
it.
sheet.
There's no sheet.
I couldn't do
That would
it.
make me so
I am
uncomfortable.
full frontal.
Mind you,
No.
I just could not. I just could not.
I'll tell you the additional story.
In our Patreon.
the OnlyFans.
The only man. Yeah, so now I'm full frontal. Not even a sheet covering my face. Staring at this with glasses off.
Oh, so you
So
can't
you're
see a
blind.
thing.
I realize she comes over and she does cover me with a sheet, but she only covers my face.
I hate it.
Actually, that helps so much.
What if they took pictures of you?
I'm not even.
Allie.
That's how my brain works.
I am trying not to
Oh.
physically crawl out of my skin. I am trying to astral project myself out of my skin, but every time she touches me, I get sucked right back in. I have never been so fully aware of my body. Anyway, she goes equally high on the front as she does in the back. I go, I hate this, was not expecting this.
So you got a free breast exam.
I got a free everything. What am I going about? I would have loved to be a hundred. But anyway, so then she also does like a neck massage, which is great, except, you know, you're lying down, face up, and she's leaning over you.
Did you not just close your eyes?
I did.
She has a sheet over her
I have
face.
a sheet over my face.
Ooh,
My
could you
eyes
like
are
feel her
shut.
breath on you?
Yes, yes you can. Allie. Anyway, I have not done a massage again. Will I do another massage? Probably not. But at least I didn't keep my jeans on.
Andrew.
Ooh.
Never nude.
Are you in never nude?
So,
I like how I'm just like.
no, I know. Well, that was the only way I could segue it in the conversation because I've had no beauty treatments on such cruise. I've had 2 massages ever. One was on our Alaska cruise, and then my first massage, which, like, I didn't realize I was even going to massage. So me and Allie were dating. I didn't know what to expect. Me and Allie were dating. I was having, like, really bad, like, back problems with, like, my shoulder muscles and stuff. And so she was like, hey, I scheduled you a massage. And so I was like, okay, cool. So, like, I left work, went, and I assumed that she was like, hey, his shoulder and, like, back is bothering him. So I was getting a massage for just my back and shoulders.
Or did you think that you were a grown man and you could have said that?
I was thinking how sweet.
I
Significant other that calls for a massage. And I was like, what a flex.
it was just, like, I didn't know.
I'm
Like,
a catch.
Also, sorry, you're gonna always be outnumbered.
well, yeah, but I was like, I just was not
Never-
going to go to a massage. Like, I wasn't
Had
going to book
never
it.
been to a
Okay.
massage ever in his life.
Like, she booked a bunch of doctor's appointments for me because it's literally like when Andy gets insurance and he's like, I had a doctor's appointment and a dentist appointment. Like, that's how it was when we were, like, dating and early married because I just didn't do that.
Fair.
And so I went, and I assumed it was just my upper body, and so she, like, pulled back the sheet. I'm still wearing, like, skinny jeans. And so she just, like, pulls it back and goes, yeah. And so I was like, okay, cool. I'll just take my shirt off, whatever. And then so she pulls back the sheet and just goes, oh, okay. And then proceeded to give me a massage with my skinny jeans on. And honestly, I mean, it was still a great experience. So
Yeah, but then he just texted me after, and I'm like thinking, oh, did you enjoy your massage? And he was like, am I supposed to take my pants off? Because she was really surprised. And I was like, you left your jeans on? Like,
just didn't know.
I would have left my bathing suit on if I could have.
you
That's-
should
Well.
have.
That's fair because usually it's to your comfort level. So if you are never nude and you need to stay in your denim shorts, you could have.
Which,
Jerk.
you know, for the record, I get naked to get in the shower just in case that was
Just in case
unclear.
that's unclear, you're not
Again, the
nude.
Patreon,
Not a
OnlyFans.
never nude.
Just wait, just kidding. Because why not? And on a positive note, want to know what is the worst thing anybody ever said to you in your grief, or like just like maybe even not like just in your grief, but like in advice or like something that they thought was like, oh, I have the perfect thing that's it's gonna speak to them, and it did not.
I have several.
Okay, pick
First,
tops.
first, not grief related. First, just real life. I'm meeting someone. She's cutting my hair for the first time. She shows me like pictures of her family because she has 2 sons that are around my age. This is way pre-Andrew, so I'm just like single and available. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, my younger son would love you. He loves plain girls."
Is your name Anne?
No, but I was just like, I immediately was like, that is the most offensive thing I've probably ever heard in my life.
I hate that for you.
That's such a weird statement. to
Yeah.
say.
I
What
know.
does that even mean? Like,
He loves plain girls.
So is this
You like
just the
adult
category of
music?
audacious statements?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Oh.
oh, I just would.
People expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
that
you
was
had
you being
something to
like,
say.
just buckle up.
Oh, no, I was just uncomfortable.
Got it,
Sorry.
yeah. Oh.
I realized I was ill-timed.
Oh, okay. Mine is having to do with loss. I don't know, after one of my parents died. And it was very much of a just, well, everything happens for a reason. Which I know is like such a bland, like everybody blanket statement that. But like to think that you're just telling that to somebody who just lost one of their parents. It truly probably happened to both parents.
Just don't say that.
Like, why do you think, what good do you think is going to come from saying, there's probably a reason your parent died? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, thanks so much.
I just remember being like, okay, next. Like, I just was, no, it's not helpful.
My personal favorite is always that, like, at least he's not in pain anymore.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's
like,
a...
I hate that one.
Yeah.
Because, especially, side note, my dad, it was well in advance we weren't knowing. So we had years to know.
Mhm.
So to therefore imply that, like, he was in pain for years is definitely a very much, like,
That
maybe
sucks,
you
too.
shouldn't say this at the viewing, especially.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Timing's important.
I will say this, though, with the everything happens for a reason. Although that is a very, like, blanket statement, and it is hella overused. Because, like, I lost my dad when I was 2, it was, like, almost a belief that I had growing up that my life could still be redeemed past this landmark.
Okay.
And so I think for me it was actually something of hope and, like, life where it was, like, I think it's bad to deliver then, but I think it still has hope in it. It's I think it has more to do with timing than it has to do with the statement. Statement's not all entirely bad, but the timing typically is horrible. Like- No, go ahead.
Probably, if someone said that to me now, I would be pissed. So, I think it's pulse and non-pulse.
It definitely is.
And it's obviously like who is saying it to you. Because I've had people say that to me who I'm quite close with, where I want to be like, ooh, not your best work. But it's also very much like, you didn't mean that in like a fucking shitty way. It was just you're uncomfortable and you don't know what to say. And that
And
Right.
was
it's
what
just
you
like a
went to.
platitude.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
it also, like, we can decide if we want to cut this or not later, but there is a Bible verse that talks about, like, all things work for good for those who love Christ. And so I get maybe definitely not any time near the time of death saying that to someone, but maybe, like, years into the grief being like, you know, maybe your story could help someone or this or that. But is it appropriate to say to someone as they're completely in grief and mourning?
No.
Absolutely
No, I don't
not.
think so.
We may also want to cut this one because it does have to deal with religion. So that's always a touchy bit. But I did have somebody come in about 5 minutes after my dad died. So
Ugh.
very recent. And say, well, it's a good thing he went to church 2 months ago. So I don't, my dad was religious. But then the physical act of going to church got a little too much to go. Like too many people.
Sure.
2 months ago.
No.
To that I say, am I a car because I stand in a garage?
But so what they said was, it's a good thing he went to church 2 months ago because now he's not going to hell.
Ooh, rough.
So,
So that
Yeah.
was a rough one.
This is a whole other topic.
yeah, no, yeah, this is a
But
whole
that's
thing.
actually the worst thing they
Yeah.
said. They were
That's
like,
pretty
I
bad.
think we leave it in.
"We
I think
also
this
have
is, like,
never talked to that
authentic.
man again,
No.
and he's so thankful."
Yeah, no, I think
Oh,
it's real
we
life.
just silence him.
Yeah, we.
Yeah, you're like, done.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're like, we're never talking to you.
No.
that's rough.
I think, too, a lot of it, you kind of touched on, Angie, is people are just very uncomfortable with something that they've never experienced. So, to put it in a more, like, applicable place, when we, like, our first day in Lombok, like, I had no idea what to say or do to advance, like, my situation.
And getting
And,
out
like,
of the
getting a
cruise
car or
terminal.
getting out of the port, like, whatever. Because it's something I've never been through.
Gotcha.
So, an example, a lot of people have actually never been through some of the things that we have, and they just have no idea what to say and do, and they've never felt the pain. So they don't know, like, they think they're helping. And a lot of people culturally are like, I want to help and I want to be good and I want to be a good friend. But like delivery or timing or whatever it is, it's just because they've never been through it, they have no idea how to cope. And so some people try to help, but then also other people like just speak so confidently out of ignorance. You're like, you actually have no idea what you're talking about. And those are the ones that I think get all of us more than anything.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the interesting one is me and my mom were not super religious. So that was also kind of a little bit of a
Salt in the wound. Yeah, just...
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think what you're saying is very apropos or like on the nose. There was a book I read after my mom passed that was about like a grief book, and it was talking about how on grief, that grief is not an emotion that we are good at dealing with. That of our emotions, the most commonly accepted one is anger. So when you strike out in anger in your grief, which that was definitely one way that I did that I didn't anticipate.
Same.
But like when it was actual, oh my god, nobody could fucking drive. After
Nobody
my
could
parents died.
drive.
I was like, you're an
And
idiot.
how
Get your
dare
head out of
you
your
ride
house.
by me on
I
a
had to
bicycle
have-
smiling? My dad just died.
I had to have like counseling as a kid because I would like punch my pillows and stuff because I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to process it as a kid. So it's
Yeah.
like the same thing. Yeah.
But they were saying like when you're sad or like upset, anger is the emotion we are most okay with seeing as a society, but like sadness and grief we are not equipped for. And so I think that goes to like people don't know how to receive
Right.
it
Right.
or like support you. And I do think generally want to help, but just are like so themselves uncomfortable. And we've also discussed this, but then you are then comforting them and them comforting you because they're uncomfortable. And
yeah,
there's this whole
and that's-
spiral of like, this isn't helping, it's making it worse.
That's the hardest part of funerals is when you as the person.
This is a different episode.
It is.
Here's the trauma travel tangent.
Look, I know, but that's how we're all here, right?
Yep.
But it's like when you were there grieving the loss of like you were your person and like you're one of the closest people there to the person that's passed. And then other people were like, I miss him so much. And you have to be like, I'm sorry. Like
Let me hug you while you
yeah,
cry?
like
I
yeah,
have,
sorry,
I have an off the podcast one.
Okay. Should we wrap it up and then do snacks
Yes,
in the lounge?
I'll end with the funny one, if that...
Okay.
yeah, we have a couple more.
If we want to wrap it up, we could say, here's how you could support people instead of saying,
Let's
wow,
Okay.
let's drop a couple funny ones and then better answers.
The one that I go to the most, because it made me laugh then, and it makes me laugh even more now, was someone who is very kind, was like asking what I wanted for Christmas and like trying to be very nice. And before I
Was it Andrew?
like
No,
no,
God, no, I
definitely not.
Not
But
this.
I was like, I don't know. Like, I honestly wasn't even in the mood for holidays, anything like this. It was not a child. And this person goes, what do you want for Christmas? I'm trying to get all my stuff in order, blah, blah, blah. There was a pause. I don't say anything. And they go, I know what you want for Christmas. And I kind of cut my eyes because I'm like, there's no way this is happening. And this person goes, you want your dad back.
Oh my god!
So I literally laughed and I said, that'd be great.
Can you do that? Is that from like the J.C. Penney's catalog?
I was like,
what?
he's right there on page 49. But I was like,
God, that one was
I
because
literally-
we got the text.
I
She texted
immediately
us.
stopped and like laughed and then texted the family group chat because I was like, y'all will never guess what was just said to me. Because
It was
so that's
incredible.
probably my favorite one.
Yes, but instead of saying you want your daddy back for Christmas, what would have maybe been something better to hear in your grief than just it's all happens for a reason, or you'll be fine one day, or what would be a better response?
Something that I saw, and it's actually timely because now we're watching season 2 of House of the Dragon. Season 1
HBO sponsor?
HBO sponsor us. Season 1, Alicent Hightower, before I completely hated her, is talking to Rhaenyra after her mom
Spoilers.
dies. Oh yeah, sorry, bad spoilers.
It's like the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
but-
Okay, but
Says the guy who hasn't finished Game of Thrones and gets mad when I spoil it.
to be fair, I get more mad. He
True.
doesn't care. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yay."
I know how it ends, so like that's
I'm
what it
just
does.
kidding.
Okay, so Alicent is talking to Rhaenyra after Rhaenyra's mom dies in childbirth. And Alicent goes, everyone kept speaking in riddles to me when my mom died, and all I wanted was someone to say how sorry I was that that happened to me. And that resonated with me so deeply because I just wanted somebody to go, oh my god, am I going to cry?
I mean, I'm about to, so it's fine.
I just wanted somebody to go, that really sucks.
Yeah.
Like, your family is hurting, and that sucks. That's all you have to say. You don't have to just sit with me in it or deliver groceries. Like, don't say anything. Don't ask what do you need. We have no idea what we need.
Yeah.
I can't even wash my hair.
Yeah.
So just practical things, because if you ask someone, what do you need?
No, it's almost better to have, like, can I bring you food on Tuesday?
Right.
Then it's, like, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Like, one person would actually call me all the time, and he was just like, hey, like, how are you doing? How was today? Like, it wasn't how's your week or it's like, how was your afternoon? Like, being very specific with questions just to let me almost, like, block out different times in my mind helped me just to process how do I feel right now, or how did I feel 2 hours ago. Just being very specific almost helped me process a lot.
Yeah.
I agree. So I will say, I was never really good with people being nice to me, because the nicer they are, the worse it was.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Sure.
why are you being so kind to me?
The
Like,
head
why are
tilt.
you happy almost?
Well, no, wait,
No?
I'm happy,
Sorry.
but it's more like
It's this. That when
It's
you
too
see someone
much.
and they go,
Yep.
It's the sympathy.
And the head tilt.
yeah.
the head tilt and the sigh.
Ooh, that's a strong. But I was gonna say, I just thought this when you were saying like, how was today? Probably for people who may have never experienced a death, but experienced both in the family, it's very simple. You want to come over at just like small points of time, send warning, and say, hey, I can come with a coffee,
Mm-hmm.
or I
Right.
can come with some meals being paid, or instead of meals, a nice restaurant gift card.
Yes.
I love those. I was
Yeah,
really upset
DoorDash
I
gift cards
never
were great.
Got a casserole.
Oh.
I was so upset, but I got plenty of gift cards
Yeah.
instead, which
Good.
is equally as good because then you can save them and
Yes.
then go to use them.
Yeah, I support DoorDash or any of those
Absolutely.
because that was my favorite. Because like when you don't want to cook, you don't want to do anything,
DoorDash.
and then too when you're like, oh, it's a $10 delivery fee, but you're like, you know what though, my amazing friend Belinda or my amazing friend Kim gave me this, so like bless you girls, but like I'm doing that $10 as opposed to being like, you know, where you second guess it, where you're like, let me look for the thing I don't want as much, but it's only a $5 delivery fee.
Right.
Right, get what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say too, I agree with Allie, and that like I just appreciated when people were like, you know what, I don't know what to say to you, and acknowledging like I don't know what to say. There's nothing,
Acknowledge it's awkward. There's
or just
nothing
be
they
like,
can
there's
Right.
nothing I can do. I'm literally here to sit, and like it fucking sucks. That's
I will say, I just thought the best thing someone did was cut our grass for like a solid 2 months.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Well,
Very
especially in
kind.
Florida, like that's a once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because it was like in the summer. So, cutting grass or just doing like small maintenance tasks like that, that's
Yeah.
that's good.
Like
a
almost
big
like
help.
eliminating decisions. Like the less decisions you have to make, the almost like more at peace you can be, because you can kind of just sit and you kind of just have to sit.
Be.
And there is
Yeah.
no statute of limitations on grief.
No.
No.
So, like, it'll come in waves. You think you're okay, and then bam.
You
You're driving
think
down the road, and you're like, oh, everything sucks.
Yeah, no.
you
so-
think you're okay and you accidentally change an iPhone setting and think you deleted all your dad's text messages and have a nuclear come apart.
Yeah.
That happens.
or you're 16 years old and you break 3 wooden bats on a tree.
Oh, you know what?
So it's like, you know, like everyone goes through weird different
Waves.
things. Yeah.
I sometimes touch something in my garage, and I have a breakdown.
Yes.
So
It's,
That's-
yeah.
Because
That's
it's
how
your
it
dad's
goes.
stuff.
No, it is mine.
Just sometimes.
But just sometimes it gets you.
Comes up, yeah.
Oh, mine's what I use my dad's tools. I'm like,
Mm. Yeah.
No, the tool drawer is my mom's.
classic.
But I will say, if anybody is looking for a grief book that's not like super cheesy and is actually authentic or felt authentic to my experience, it's called Terrible Thanks for Asking, because she was so sick of people going, how are you? Terrible, thanks for asking. And she's just very real. Her name is Nora McErney, I think, but it's Terrible Thanks for Asking. I think it's very helpful. Everyone should read it.
I don't remember the name of the book that I read. I was trying to find that right now.
But we should post
We
it
could
on
put
our
it-
socials.
Yeah, and we can do
Yeah.
like episode notes too of like
Absolutely.
Codename terrible. Thanks for asking.
instead of codename
Codename
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Is her
I'm good with
podcast,
that.
though. So
Yeah,
like,
we don't want to do that.
I don't
You should
wanna-
listen to that after you listen to ours.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else before we transition into our intro and then wrap
No.
this up and get
Well,
snacks?
I
and
think we
drinks?
did good.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out with us for episode 4, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay. Do we need to do the table of contents? No, we kind of did at the top, didn't
We
we?
did, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Unless- yeah, I was like, that's a
Okay.
full cut, yeah.
Yay, we did it.
Woo, snackies.
And we're still under an hour, so.
That's pretty much